Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to more Monkey Hero Adventures. Today we are going to finish up our rogue storyline and become ninjas. We got some new armor here. Yeah, it doesn't look the greatest, but hey, that's okay. It's better, and that's all that matters. We're going to finish up our rogue storyline, which means, yes, you're going to have to suffer through some pirate talk. I'll do my best. Alright, let's talk to Jack and see what's going on. Hey Jack, what you got? Sweet sorrows. Oh there, monkey. What a rough job ahead of us. And that's a fact. Matters are tangled enough with that Malala Mort snapping at our heels, but we still managed to grapple the first trinket without too much fuss. Biting back the other two treasures, though, that'll be a different story. Once Astray gets here, I'll explain that, what, and more to the point, who we're up against. Remember, we're trying to get the 3 treasures that were stolen before she does. Alright, we've 2 baubles left on the list. The Silver Sorrows and the Black Sarcophagus. Let's see where we're at. Oi, where's Paramu got to? Underfoot? He's still looking to whittle the tail between the bleeding sarcophagus. We're not cloying that stickler until we've at least an inkling as to what bloody thing looks like. Treasures aside, I've been doing some digging on my own, and these executioner allies of the Grinning Curs, and I ain't afraid the name weren't no coincidence. Monkey, you heard of the bloody executioners, I hope? It seems the Curs was feeding them famble, one of the greatest nation's pirate powers. This ain't no ordinary crew of cutthroats, lad. Within Limps Lamenta, the bloody executioners wield a power of influence second only to Admiral herself. They was none too fond of old Merowibben or prohibition on piracy, and it was only the overwhelming threat posed by the Garlean Empire would eventually convince them to play nice with the thalassocracy. Thalassocracy? I know. But pirates ain't ones to play nice for long. Now that Hilfir ain't around to helm the ship, the solidarity of the bloody executioners has begun to show cracks. All the strongest captains and lieutenants have begun to form their own factions and are scrambling to claim the top chair for themselves. Of course, not one bloody cove can agree on which another on which way the executioners ought to sail. Among these new factions, though, is a group which is pushing to break free, the Admiral's grip completely. Turns out these reformists, as they call themselves, was the ones that took the Grinning Curs under their wing. Which means I got a possession or 2 of the last treasures we've yet to cloy. Rumors around town say that even for executioners, these coves are bloody and ruthless and not to be crossed. We should sit this one out, Jack. Piss on Melele's contest. It ain't worth this kind of grief. We'd be inviting the wrath of a crew so large and dangerous that even the Admiral ain't keen on coming to blows with them. If they ever come after us, large or small, it don't much matter. They broke the code, and they hit that maelstrom tub. Aye, the Grinning Curs are paying for that crime, and we'd be poor sodden excuses for rogues if we let the real culprits carry on unpunished. I mean to see this job to the end, and that means biting them back them treasures and handing out proper justice as they deserve it. But Jack! Listen, with all the infighting going on at present, us stabbing a short blade into one foe's toe ain't like to bring the whole executioners down on our heads. Besides, the reformist buggers are so far split from the main mob that they'll be avoiding the city altogether. Now, it's about time to go to work. Monkey, you're to track down our black market contact. I set him looking into the Curs News allies a while back, so he should have some answers for us by now. The veil was lifted by a southerly this morn. That'll put the old man at his haunt in Lower Lenosha. Here, take this sack of blunt and pay a visit to this house of sticks. That's kobold territory, if you didn't know. The old man bribes him with ore and hires biggest and meanest sods as bodyguards. Just be ready for your approach to be challenged. that. I think the quickest way to get there is to... Ride like the wind, monkeypox. Alrighty, here we go. Welcome to the House of Sticks, young rogue. You must excuse my hireling's enthusiasm for greeting visitors. Now, have you any cumbersome baggage of which I might relieve you before we begin our conversation in earnest? There you go. A heavy burden for one of your tender years to bear, but its weight has balanced the scales. The sum is paid and the deal is made. Let us speak of these reformists. This faction that so wronged the code now seeks to peddle one of its stolen treasures, the earrings better known as the Silver Sorrows. The deal, it is said, is to take place at Costa del Sol. The buyer, a moneyed merchant from the golden sands of Ul'dah. The earrings will be out in the open, vulnerable. I would target the moment of transaction were I so inclined, as the gentleman up there by the cabin appears to be, for he purchased the self-same information. Though he attempts to disguise his identity, the stench of a soldier yet lingers. I know not where one such as he came to learn of my existence, but I suspect he works for a certain yellow-coated captain. Brave she is, but foolish. Stumble blindly into the underworld, and your groping hands will not save you from the holes at your feet. Sudden shall be her fall. You mean dirty cops? Say it isn't so. I don't believe you. Alright. Let's go tell Jack what we learned. Welcome back, Monkey. What information did the old man have on them reformists? Looking to unload them earrings, are they? And doing old un, no less? Can't say as I'm surprised to hear the buyers from out of town. You won't find many Laminsons willing to melt coin on aught them cubs selling. Only the daftest of sods would go funding them as means to pull down the admiral. I don't know what any of that said. One of Malay's lackeys arrived at the house before you. How did they know? Bah, them curs we captured must have cackled during the shrew's interrogations. We'll have to assume the Yellow Jackets know what we know, and that means we'd best get our arses to Costa del Sol right bleeding now. I'll handle this one, Jack. You and Monkey can wait here for Paramu. Oh, Vicky, what in the hell is she playing at? After, lad. She knows this ain't a solo job. I have not opened up Costa del Sol yet. Man, I gotta go right back where I just was. Alright, let's do... Oh, wrong way. Right, let me add it. How did I leave? There it is. Let's send me to Costa. Ooh. That was way faster than what I was gonna do. Now we have arrived in Eastern Lenosha. The ninja quests are, if I'll zoom out here on the other side where Wineport is. What's up, Kiwi? I told you to wait at the guild. I don't need... Well... Might be as I could use an extra cove in the shadows after all. Jack has his mind set on punishing the executioners, but me, I just want to skulk in, cloy the silver bitch, and skulk out. I reckon that if I could manage that with no one the wiser, then they would have known who to come after. Finish the job with drawing me daggers, you know? Without drawing me daggers. That ain't exactly true to the code, but the shield of the underworld honor wouldn't stop the bloody killers from cutting me mates' throats and setting the sisters at glimmer. The guild's the only place what offered to take in a pirate stray like me, and I'll not see it burnt to the ground. The deal's about to start. Say the word when you're Benny to head in. Alright, let's go. Alright, here's what we know. The rich merchant what's come over to Old is some old mate of Master Garaju. The cull as owns Costa del Sol. Garaju's taken his guards and dance in dells and prance down the beach someplace, giving over the use of his entire resort to his friend. Seems she didn't want an audience for her bargain with the reformists. Which, as it happens, works out well for us. We'll wait until they're busy, haggling over the price, then snatch the sorrows and hop the twig before they realize aught's amiss. Sound like a plan? Let's do it. There, the players arrived. The reformist, coin counter, and the olden buyer are setting up the southeast platform. Their yings ought to be nearby. Hang about. Who are these other coals? The place is meant to be empty. I see some nasty-looking blokes in old-on garb, and are those mammoths? Ugh, the merchants brought a whole bloody entourage. I gone in ahead of myself. I should have realized this job never be that easy. We'll have to mill a few of them bodyguards first, I reckon. You don't want to fight through a forest of blades should you get to sneaking about up on through the narrow walkways. Jack, I thought I'd... Stow your excuses, love. I know full well what you were about. You start going soft on us, though, it'll be like losing one of my arms. I can't take on the bloody executioners all by myself. It's only 'cause I got rogues like you and Underfoot and Monkey here that the guild can take jobs like it does. When our coves walk the shadows, it's the bleeding pirates what do the trembling. Remember that, Vakibi. We ain't some two guild robbers who piss their britches when their daddles are caught up in the honeypot. We're the knives and the darkmans, and no bastard wants to go blade to blade with the likes of us. I see. You've not changed your mind, then. You need all the stabbers you can get, and I promise mine'll be where you need 'em. Benny. Now, let's carve a path to that platform and bite back them earrings. Kibi, you hide yourself down by the docks in case the marks escape during the fighting. Monkey, you and me'll split up and mill the guards as we go. It's them puppets that concern me the most. I suggest you crash them little buggers before they can spring any rum fun. Creep in as close as you dare, then give 'em a good solid clout from behind. Aye, it ain't the most original strategy. That don't make it any less lethal. Once you're done with the first group, slip back into the shadows and move on to the next. Not to it, eh? I'll head over to the back while you start in from the front. Let's wrap this up before them jackets blunder in and scare off our marks. Rogues? No one mentioned aught about rogues. What, what in the hell do you think you're doing? I'm conducting a business transaction on behalf of the bloody executioners. Do you understand what that means? Do you know what they'll do to you? I, I, I'm all of frightened. Odd then that you're the one who's shaken. It doesn't much matter to me who you work for. Your boss broke the code, and we're here to collect. Those be the Silver Sorrows, then? I'm sure you paid a caravan a coin for 'em, them shiny baubles. But I doubt they're worth your life. Let's have 'em then. What? Wait, damn you! You should know that this personage is an extremely influential member of the East Aldernaut Trading Company. Surely you've heard of it. If the threat of reprisal will not stay your hand, then consider the political ramifications of interfering with a foreign dignitary. The Admiral would not desire you to damage Limsa's relations with Ul'dah. Yes, exactly. I am very highly placed in Ul'dan society. I have powerful friends who would not be pleased were you to mistreat me in any fashion. And you must understand, the Silver Sorrows are a historic treasure, a gift once bestowed upon Sultana Nanasha ul Nasha by her champion. The earrings were later stolen from the royal vault, and we'd lost hope of ever recovering them. That I might so easily purchase this is a miracle. The return of these trinkets will be, that is to say, the sorrows must be returned to Ul'dah. Can you not look the other way for the sake of my nation's pride? You must think me some dull-witted thug. If this deal was being made on behalf of your country, why are you sneaking about and consorting with pirates? An excellent point. One might doubt your quality of character were you to continue with these feeble fabrications. You need only entrust those earrings to me, should you truly wish to see them returned to Ul'dah. That is, after all, 'twas to fulfill that very purpose that the Thalassocracy bid on the sorrows in the first place. A bit late there, aren't you, Captain? I think you'll agree this round belongs to us. On the contrary, my dear scoundrel, I made the winning move the moment I knew we were dealing with a merchant of Ul'dah. I come bearing an official order of seizure authorized by the Admiral herself. You will not be harmed, but I must insist that you cooperate with this reclamation of unlawfully obtained goods. Though Costa del Sol is private property, it nevertheless lies within the state-governed territory. Come along quietly, and we need not inconvenience Master Gejuruju any further. Gejuruju. These suspects will be taken into Yellow Jacket custody. Do not concern yourself with the Silver Sorrows. They'll be quite safe with me. Boo. Bah. The hell's that canary color harpy? We might as well have handed the things on a velvet cushion. I'll go find Underfoot and help him with his digging. There's still the last treasure out there, and you can be sure the reformers won't be giving it up without a fight. Aye, you do that. Bend luck to you, love. Ah, there you are. You left before events had truly been decided, and I thought you deserved to know the score. The Ul'dah merchant had acquiesced to our request and surrendered the Silver Sorrows into our keeping. We've also apprehended the reformist accountant, and he will be holding him for further questioning. Oh, Bone and an associate of the bloody executioners. You Yellow Jackets don't flinch from your duty, I'll give you that. And what's this I hear about you buying information, Captain? I thought you'd sooner die than associate with the elements of the underworld. I will do what I must to stay ahead in this challenge, and the Marketeer's knowledge was vital to the case. 'Tis true I might find his practices distasteful, but he is no pirate. It is the fading era of piracy which I mean to consign to history books, and that chapter will never fully close until every pirate spawned relic, including you and your guild, become a thing of the past. valiant and forthright. These are words of which the Yellow Jackets live. It is the manner in which we protect Limsa. I swore an oath on the graves of my sisters. No more shall the innocent suffer at the hands of these savage buccaneers, these unrepentant killers. And a grand oath it is. Me? I got me fambles, just keeping the code intact. But the code is a kind of oath too, when you get down to it, and since I've sworn to uphold it, I have no intention on stepping aside and letting you trample all over me and my coves. In fact, you'd be better off giving in now, for matters get proper serious. Just say you're sorry, admit defeat, and we'll leave it at that, eh? Your audacity knows no bounds. I am not done wasting words. I shall reclaim the last treasure, and then I will look on victorious as your guild is dismantled, brick by brick. That's a spirit, Captain. Just don't forget to keep an eye on them earrings. The city's crawling with rogues, you know. You keep the sorrows in a bloody lockbox in the Coral Tower, but look away for a moment, and one of my coves might bite them beauties right back. Come on, monkey. It's back to the sisters for us. Well, after all that hard work, the shrew made off with the spoils. And as far as her damn contest goes, I suppose that makes us even. It'll be the last treasure, this black sarcophagus, that decides the victor. Whether the reformists are doing to keep it bob, and you can bet your grandmom's teeth that there'll be some blade work before this job is done. Get yourself ready for a proper scrap, monkey. Oh, I will. I don't think any of this stuff is going to be, yeah. Alrighty, number 30, Market for Death. I was wondering when you'd show up, monkey. I didn't leave. But bugger me if you don't look ready to mill an entire crew of sods by yourself. And ben that you are, because we've finally uncovered some hard facts about the last treasure. Won't be long now before we cloy the wind in peace and put this daft challenge to bed. Alright, I've gathered all the other coves for a meeting, so let's get down to it. At long bloody last, the black sarcophagus has given up its secrets. Underfoot, you got some news for us? Aye, Jack. I think half our troubles is whittling the truth of it lay in calling this nasty thing a treasure. The black sarcophagus ain't no dimber bauble. It's the Mark 51 Magitech mine. A bleeding prototype explosive, what was bitten from an Imperial transport vessel. And even though it ain't that big, maybe the size of a small cargo box, they say the blast has enough kick to incinerate a bloody behemoth. Seems the Garleans meant to start production at their factory in Lenosha, then distribute the mines through Marinum. Lucky some plucky privateer cloyed the prototype en route then, huh? An experimental weapon. That explains why the Thalocracy was so bleeding eager to bid at that auction, and so reluctant to share the details with us. At least now we know what, but there's still the question of where. The Curs delivered their bitten goods to the reformists, that much is certain. What happened to the sarcophagus after that, though, we ain't so sure. There've been no reports of huge explosions or the like, so either the executioners still have the mine, or they peddled it to some other buyer. The reformist faction came together out of their shared hatred for the Admiral and her ways. I'm guessing they didn't cloy that bomb just to sell it. What is it, Lonnie? A letter for you, Jack. Says it's urgent. A letter? Who's it from? The old man. I found it while I was sorting through our daily deliveries. Let's see now. Come to Thalos. I have urgent news. I'd never known the old man to summon a customer. No one sees him at his usual haunts for a while. So, do you reckon this is some rum morsel he's dug up just for us? Aye, could be. Monkey, you and me are headed to Thalos. Underfoot, Vikibi, you're to take another stab at pinning down the location of the sarcophagus. Let's go to Thalos. Where is Thalos? That's at, is it upper? Yeah. Did I think I did. Yeah. Let's just go to Bronze Lake and then we'll run over to the ferry. We'll go that way. Could also do Aleport and run up, but I don't know. I think that's a little bit quicker. I definitely know it's quicker when you have flying. We don't have flying yet. Boom, boom. In here, I think he's up top. He's not in here, is he? No, he's up top. He is up here. He is not up there. Where the hell is this dude at? Is he behind here? Under here? I don't know where he is. Oh, he's back here. Oh shoot, somebody's messed him up. Bloody executioners. You wasting your time, darling? We've opened that scrag's wrinkled throat bells ago. You cross the bloody executioners, and you get what's coming to you. Did you like our message? Wasn't sure you'd fall for it, but a little mystery goes a long way, eh? Oh, you're in trouble now. Ah, now don't be like that, darling. Me and my mates didn't have much choice. When the boss says, go play with rogues, that's what you gotta go play with the rogues. After all, we never asked you to come ruin our game now, did we? Don't give me no long-winded speech about your precious code. The reformist vision stretches far beyond what them tired old rules is good for. Once Captain Ivershire takes command of the executioners, he'll give back the teeth we lost when we submitted to the Admiral's leash. We'll be the terrors of the sea once more, free to rove and plunder in a new age of pirate glory. And I'll bathe in the blood to see that age come to pass. I'll kick down your shit-stinking code and have all your sneaky eds on chopping blocks. Like else you will. The only sentence what's being passed today is yours. Well, hello there, darling. Ain't you a fine-looking lad? I've heard all the prattle before. Free to pillage and plunder, is it? Aye, it all sounds grand, but you don't think of the price. That shit-stinking code is the only thing what keeps your bloody coves from milling in one another. Without it, without Limp's laments to call home, you'd be adrift in an ocean of corns. But if you're so keen to keep company with the dead, I'd be sodden happy to oblige. You was prettier with your gob shut, but I can see I'm out of my depth here. As much as I'd like to lop off your noggins, I'll have to be satisfied with dragging these two, with the two of you out into the wilds. Keep you out of the way, haven't I? Out with it then. Ain't it obvious? You stubborn scrags is looking to swipe our new toy, and my job was to stall you. The captain has the mine with him right now. He's set to show the rest of the executioners that he's got the stones to sit in the leader's chair. And what better way to do that than executing the bitch that snapped the chains on our crew? He's targeting the Admiral herself? You're planning to blow up the command room, ain't you? And you've got my permission to panic. Of course, if you'd rather steer clear of the city, I'd be glad to keep you company right here, sweet meat. We've got this mad Mort at our mercy, but she seems to be enjoying herself. I'd better drag her back to the guild and see what other information she'll spill. I need you back in Limbs as well, but you've got business at the foremast first. You should find Captain Milele at her post there. Forget about the solid and challenge. Tell her everything we know. Unless my judgment's well off kilter, she'll do what she needs to be done. I don't want to help her. Can I just save everybody myself? Oh crap, that's in... Huh. That's not what I thought it was. Oh, you're one of Jack's rogues. You've come to steal the sorrows, have you? Well, you shan't have them. And as you can see, they're safely classed on my very own... You're not here for the earrings? The Admiral, you say? And are you sure these fiends are in possession of the sarcophagus? I must deploy sentries at once. Do you think this voids our challenge, rogue? And as you relay as much as your important... You can relay as much to your impudent guildmaster. I suppose you can thank him for the warning as well. Qualifiers are the worst. So the check is on the move, Ben. And I've been listening to the addled pirate cackle since I've got her back to the sisters. But she's given us not what we didn't already know. And we know more than enough. I say we rally the rogues and go after the mine before it blows up in our mums. Alright, here we go. Final rogue quest. Cloying victory. Alright, let's go. Ooh. Oh. Finally get some upgrade in our arms here. Right. If the leader of the reformists, this Captain Azavir, is planning on milling the Admiral with a bang, then my guess is he'll be aiming to demolish the entire command room. You know, the mizzenmast, eh? The tower which holds the drowning winch in Bulwark Hall? The Admiral's bridge and her command room are right at the top of it. Then you've got the district which surrounds the mizzenmast. That's the busy beating heart of the city. Even with the threat of an attack, you can't just seal it up in the blink of an eye. You call the whole thing Bob. Try to explain the danger to the Coles who live and work there, and you'd have a frightened, stampeding mob on your fambles. Nay, lad, our only option is to have eyes snilching every approach to the tower. I'll put the wit out to as many coves as I can and spread them through the streets. Your job is to cover the aft castle. Just wait and see, monkey. We'll get this Abashir and his little bomb, too. Alright, aft castle time. Let's go. Ah, the fog picked up a grand night and rolled in thick. This'll make things interesting. Our presence on the street is far too thin. Where are the reinforcements I ordered? My apologies, Captain. There just aren't any more soldiers to spare. The bulk of our forces have already been assigned to guard not only the Admiral, but a number of the high-ranking personnel as well. Unacceptable! What could Commodore Rainier be thinking? There are dangerous criminals stalking in the city as we speak. Call in squads from the outposts if you must, but I want to see our security tightened and the populace properly protected. But, Captain, we can't be certain the pirates' plan hasn't changed. If we consider the possibility that they've switched to target outside the walls, it would be folly to weaken those defenses. You've made your point, Sergeant. Return to your post. Once all is lost, it is far too late to question what should have been done. You seem troubled, sir. Perhaps I could be of assistance. I've been dying to meet you, lass. Aye, keen to set eyes on the bold yellow belly which cost our crew a fortune in olden coin. You, you're an executioner, one of Albashir's men. You strayed too far into the world you don't understand, lass. Your eyes is fixed on a light of justice, leaving you blind to the chasm opening up at your feet. At least they'll say you died with your boots on. The yellow belly won't be bothering us no more, Captain. As for the mine, the lads have primed it in front of the wench by the time you get there. Good. Not long before we drag the bitch Admiral, her pretty tower, and all their simpering curs down to the bottom of the sea. Then I'll raise our flag on the ruins of the mizzenmast and lead our brethren in the return of the old ways of blood and plunder. Bobby, wife isn't gonna kill me. What's that then? Not after the command room. They mean to bring down the entire tower. If the mizzenmast falls, the bridge will follow. Half the city will... Please, you must help. The danger far greater than we. Bloody hells! It's alive! Oh, no. I didn't see nothing. Didn't see nothing. Please, you must send word. Someone must be told. You. How did you... Your valiant and forthright weapon. You could hear that single pistol shot from miles away. More hard to guess what happened. I poked the yellow jackets on my way over. A healer will be along shortly. Ben, that means we've only one last thing to do. We have never been allies, but I beg of you. You must stop them. Save the city. Ah, lass, you know you don't have to ask. Taking down the mad coves and biting back what has been bitten is our job. You all set then? Ready, Jack. Always. Oh, I'm gonna stab you somebody. Let's cloy that sarcophagus and fit Albashir for a new coffin. Get out of here, bitch. Status report. The mine has been disabled and the engineers should soon have it safely removed. Our soldiers sustained some injuries in the battle of the route with the reformists, but none were fatal. Also, the Admiral sends her sincerest gratitude. Look, there she is. That's Captain Milalia, the hero of Limsa Laminsa. Are you covered from your wound, Captain? We heard how you nearly lost your life stopping the horde of pirates from blowing up the mizzenmast. 3 cheers for the Yellow Jackets. Our city would be lost without ye. But, wait, that's not how it... Sergeant, what of the rogues? Did they survive the battle? I don't rightly know, Captain. All we found near the sarcophagus were reformists, either dead or strung up from the rafters. Alive, then. 'Twould seem we are deeply in their debt. Captain? Might I have the silver sorrows from you now? We've been ordered to hand them over to the Commodore, along with the black sarcophagus. Why, of course, they're right here. The earrings! I could have sworn I was still... He wouldn't have. He stole them from me while I lay dying? That cad! I knew he was not to be trusted. Keep an eye on them, indeed. I should have known. Yeah, well, that means we got 2 out of 3. Are you sure about this, Jack? We could have cleared the sarcophagus as well. I think she's earned it, don't you? If it bothers you that much, think of it as a trade. If you ask me, they look a bit daft. Well, I didn't ask you. So, the jackets ended up with the mine, and we got the diamond and the earrings, which means victory belongs to the Rogues Guild. Do you think Malala will leave it at that, then? I got a feeling we ain't done with her yet. I'd say we're done with her challenge, but you never know where our paths will cross again. We'll just have to see what Limsa's underbelly spits up next. Aye, this city ain't ever quiet for long. Well, it's been a pleasure working with you, Monkey. If I ever need a trusty pair of old stabbers by my side, I know who to ask. I'm off as well. Bloody starving I am. Don't forget to yaffle a bite when you can, Monkey. We'd best head back to the sisters, too, before the shrew decides she'd rather hear us cry cockles. I'm just going to say good work, because I know that's what that means now. Monkey, be seeing you soon. Oh there, monkey. It'll be nice to finally have a bit of rest, eh? The job never ends, but even a dimber-damber like myself needs to breathe every now and again. And your running mates must be wondering where you got to. That was a proper long assignment, but I'm glad you decided to see it through. You've proven to be a stalwart protector of the code, even if this ain't truly ain't your world. When you walk back into the light, moms, you'd have to find your own code to uphold. And when you do, you'll have the skills you learned in the shadows to help you defend it. Well, that's more than enough prattle out of me. Your travels might take you far and wide, monkey, but you know you're always welcome here at the Sisters. Well, thank you. Alright. And now it is time to become a ninja. Peasants by day, ninjas by night. Ah, monkey, keeping your stabber sharpened, I hope. 'Cause I got a job to be done, and I reckon the dimber damber what put the executioners on the chopping block is the one to do the doing. My men have sighted some shifty types around Wineport of late. Not code-breaking curs so far as I know, and that's the rub. We don't know half as much about them as I'd like. They claim to be simple peasants, refugees from some far-flung realm, but I don't know how many peasants would skulk around the Darkens as much as they've been doing. So long as they're not breaking the code, they can do as they please, but being who we are, it falls to us to look into the matter and make sure that's all Bob. My gut tells me they may be a rogue-like job, two rogue job. I sent Underfoot on ahead, so pull out your best beater cases, head to Wineport, and meet them there. Let's go Costa del Sol. And then we will ferry over to Vineport. We will be able to attune to there. Monkey, when Jack said he'd be sending one of the guild canniest coves along with me, I had a feeling it might be you. Now, I'd love to tell you old Underfoot's already whittled down the whole scrap of our friends, but truth is, so far I've turned up more questions than answers. They claim to hail from the South Sea Isles, but my little birds at Melvin's Gate swear that to the last man that there's some piss-poor mummery. There's no record of any such ship sailing into port. Looks like it falls to you and me to take a closer search, eh? I hope you brought your sharpest stabbers, as there's no telling who we're... Did you hear that, lad? Either old Underfoot's gone daft, or some mort just screamed out for dear life. Something tells me our little task is about to get a turn for the interesting. What say we go see what's what? Let's do it. Queer maid. Have mercy. I'm but a simple milkmaid with not a single guild to my name. Rest easy, lass. My friend and I don't mean you no harm. Though I must say, you've got me curious. Just what in the name of 12 happened here? I just come to town to purchase some supplies. No sooner had I walked through the gates than I suddenly accosted by 3 burly drunkards, who demanded that I hand over all of my possessions. To my good fortune, it seems the men had partaken a bit too heavily. When they saw the meager contents of my coin purse, they began to squabble amongst themselves. A fistfight ensued, and before I knew it, the 3 men were lying on the ground as you see them now. Sounds like Nimia smiled upon you today, lass. Though, might I suggest you be a bit more careful on your next visit. All manner of scurvy sorts frequent these parts, and you'll find that none of them are blundering lackwits like your friends here. Thank you for your concern, good sir. Rest assured that I will take your words to heart. Good day to both of you. Well, Monkey, how did the girl's wids strike you? Mummery, I say. You too. I was thinking the very same. Squabbling amongst themselves. Just look, there's barely a scratch on any of these louts. Aye, I'd wager there's more than a rum doxy that she's letting on. Come, let's go on the drag and see what she might be hiding. She's got a pet bat. And a right mess we've got here. You reckon these coves got on the wrong side of our lass? One thing's for sure. They're no more peasants than you and I. One look at those stabbers tells me as much. I have failed. I beg of you, take this and return it to Master Obaru, to Lady Subami. It's too late. The poor sod's dead. As for this stone, your guess is as good as mine. A lucky charm of sorts, maybe? Any road, we best start moving our dew beaters before the last gets away. Her footprints lead in the direction of Upper Lenosha. She hides behind a tree, as if that could hide her from me. She didn't really think she could fool me with those silly rags, did she? Or did she? Perhaps she's not as clever as we believed. And a mysterious savior rushes at the damsel's defense. Such chivalry, such compassion, such folly. Little does he know the girl is more than capable of taking care of herself. And right on cue, Obero the Dim leaps onto the scene to save his dear little swallow in the most unsurprising surprise attack the realm has ever seen. Cease your ramblings, Karasu, before I rip that tongue from your bloody beak. Yow! Our hero is wounded. A stab through the heart. His childhood friends stand before him, blades drawn and hate in their eyes. Oh, the tragedy of it all. The audience sobs. And what's this? A couple of bit players who have forgotten to leave the stage. Did no one tell them their part in the play is long since over? Oh, and the faceless rogue shows surprising skill. Perhaps he yet has a role to play. I will say this much. Unlike a certain someone, at least you intrigue me. But other matters demand our hero's attention, and so the first acts must draw to a close. Come, my pet. Wait, Kursu! Ever quick to retreat, that one. The two gentlemen from Wineport. Did you follow me here? Beg pardon, miss. My friend and I here, on behalf of the dutiful sisters and you, sister, have some questions to answer. I've lived in the underbelly society long enough to recognize when a man's more than he seems. So, make this easy for us, lass. Just who exactly are you, and what exactly are you doing here? And here's hoping for both our sakes that it doesn't involve breaking no code. So you are the rogues of whom I have heard so much. Forgive me, we were remiss in not seeking you out sooner. Very well, you shall know all there is to know. My name is Oboro, and she is Subame. We hail from a village in Doma, several thousand malms across the sea. We are, but perhaps you have no word for what we are. In our own tongue, one might call us shinobi. Doma? The imperial province? The same, though it did not have to be so. Our countrymen fought with honor against the might of Garlemald. What we lacked in number, we made up for in martial prowess. It was a battle we could have won, had we not been betrayed by one of our own. Our every secret, our every move known to our foe. The tide of battle turned on the morrow. Thousands of our countrymen were slaughtered, and at the day's end, Doma remained under the imperial yoke. The traitorous Kerr joined the imperial ranks as chief of the covert operatives, or so they say. That is the man you just met, Karasu, though I am loath to call him a man. To this day, he whispers in the ears of the Garleans, making a mockery of those who once called him a friend and brother, but no longer. We have come to Eorzea at our village elder's behest to see that Karasu pays for his crimes with his life. Come to mill a treacherous rook who blew the gab and his comrades. You sound like a right bend cove. Consider old Underfoot impressed. Forgive me, this land and its tongue are still new to us. Nonetheless, we were able to lure Curacao here, but more than a few of our comrades gave their lives in the effort. And now this. Was their sacrifice for naught? Ah, you have my gratitude. When one of our kind falls, tradition dictates that we return their soul to the village, that it may rest with our ancestors. What? Our fallen brother's soul calls out to this man. Could it be a sign? Are we fated to fight as one? I would make you an offer. We will instruct you in our art, the art of ninjutsu. In return, you will share with us your knowledge of this land, that it might serve us in our mission. But Orboro, he is not Doman. He is not of our village. Look around you, Tsubame. Our brothers and sisters are fallen or gravely wounded, and today's failures make it all too clear. We cannot hope to stand against Karasu without knowing the lay of the land. Can't say I'm thrilled at the prospect of losing a dimber-damber like yourself, but hells, in my younger days I'd have been keen to try my fams at some of these techniques myself. And the more my waddles take in, the more these two strike me as better and better folks. If you're keen to lend them your dandles, I'll not stand in your way. If you would know more, come to the dock storehouse at Raingatcher Galley. Go. We shall await you there. Who would have figured, eh? Any road. The choice is yours, monkey. In the meantime, I'm going to go back to Limson and report to Jack before he comes and gives me a good clout in the knob. Oh my god, can you not? I'm just trying to get back to turn in the ninja quest. I don't want to kill you. Bam. Right here, I'm sorry. And so we meet again. Am I to take your presence to mean that you have chosen to accept our offer? Yes. Thank you. I speak not only for myself and Tsubame, but for our entire village when I say that you have our profound gratitude. What I would tell you next, I would tell you out of the earshot of strangers. Byakubu has been instructed to let only trusted visitors through the doors behind me. When he speaks to you, Ayami, you are to answer K-A-D. K-A-D. You need not know what the words mean, only they will grant you entrance. Welcome, monkey. You stand with the provisional base of operations my people have established in your land of Eorzea. May not look like much, either without or within. That is precisely the point. We fit in an ideal vantage point from which to observe the comings and goings of Karasu and his men without attracting undue attention to ourselves. My fallen brother saw you as worthy inheritor of his soul. To honor his memory, I entrust it to you. But soul alone will not make you a shinobi. No, this will require training of the body and mind. Our art, the art of ninjutsu, originated with our ancestors many years ago. Since then, it has been passed down with each generation, mother to daughter, father to son. We draw power from the world around us, the heaven, the earth, and the hearts of man, and channel this power into physical form. I am told that this is similar to the concept of aether, was it? I must confess the Eorzean words and ways remain unfamiliar to me. How does one channel this power, you ask? Through the use of mudra, hand gestures that call forth each of the three forms of which I spoke. The first mudra I will teach you will call the power from the heavens. In Doma, we call this Ten. You are eager to learn, yes? Attune your soul to that of my fallen brother, then approach me once more. It is then that your training will begin. And we are a ninja. And I have to fix all of these. I'll be really quick, I'm sorry. I hate that it changes this when you get the job crystal, but it does. Okay. My first mudra. Yes, I can sense it. Though you are not of our blood, the soul of my people is strong in you. You are one of us now, a shinobi. And yet, your training has only just begun. Heed my words well, monkey. For the shinobi, blade and mind are one. The weak mind gives rise to a weak blade. The false mind gives rise to a false blade. But the mind that is strong and true, the blade will know no equal. Such are the teachings of my master, and his master's master before him. The shinobi must keep presence of mind at all times, or his blade may as well be one of grass. That is the lesson of the mind. Now we shall begin the lesson of the body. You will recall the art of ninjutsu involves using hand gestures called mudra to summon the energies of heaven, earth, and man, ten, chi, and jin in the Domin tongue. Myriad techniques can be unleashed depending on the mudra you combine and the order in which you do so. But perhaps I'm getting ahead of myself. A child must learn to walk before he can run. To begin, I will see you master your first mudra, 10, the mudra of heaven. Summon the energy of heaven to project it forth, and form your hand will fly a flaming star, or Fuma Shuriken. Outside of our storehouse, you will find a mokujin, a wooden man of sort traditionally used in Doma for training. Do as I have told you, and strike it with Fuma Shuriken. I will observe your technique from a distance. Man, I'm gonna Fuma all over this thing. That will do, monkey. Clearly, we did not misjudge your potential. Perhaps you have also felt your body becoming lighter. This is another benefit of your training. You may find yourself able to dance through the air with your blades drawn. But be mindful, the true shinobi sees no movement is wasted. You demonstrated your skills well against the wooden man, but wood does not strike back. Your next opponent will not be so docile. Prepare yourself. Dude got wrecked. I see. What Orboro means to say is that he's not seen anyone master the fundamentals of ninjutsu with such swiftness. Is that not so, Oboro? I am capable of speaking for myself, Tsubame. But it is true. Monkey has exceeded even my own expectations. His blade slices through the air as a fish glides through water. But that is enough training for the day. Now it is my turn to be the student and you the teacher. I would learn the ways of Eorzea. You will instruct me, yes? You have my gratitude, monkey. First, I would better know the train of Linoche. Is something amusing. My bow. I see. Who would have thought a simple gesture of courtesy could be so complicated? Like this, is it? Forgive him. Ouroboros has not been quite himself since coming to these shores. It would seem that neither the food nor the climate agrees with him. Let us not forget the stink of those infernal horse birds. All the more reason for us to complete our mission swiftly and return to more hospitable environs. Anyhow, Monkey, that should suffice for the day. Practice well your ninjutsu and return here when you are ready for your next lesson. It would seem you have some practicing to do as well. Monkey, why, I didn't even hear your footsteps as you approached. You are becoming more and more the shinobi with each day. Ouroboros has been awaiting your return. Please enter. Welcome back, Monkey. You may enter. Ah, Monkey, it is clear from the manner in which you carry yourself that you have been most diligent in your training. But you are not the only one who has mastered technique imparted to you. Behold my Orisian bow, perfect in balance and form. Now it is time for your next lesson. Watch carefully my hands, Monkey. With this mudra, the shinobi can summon the energies of the earth, chi in our tongue. Etch it in your mind, and I shall show you how to employ it in battle. Chi, or Earth, marks the second mudra that you have learned. With this, you are ready to begin the next phase of your training. It is through the combination of mudras that you will find new techniques. The first technique I would import to you is Raiton, lightning release. When heaven joins with earth, lightning will flash and thunder will roll. In other words, form the mudra 10 followed by Chi. Channel that energy forward, and bolts of lightning will surge from your hands to strike your foe. As this is more formidable technique than full Musherman you have wielded thus far, I have taken care to reinforce the Mokujin outside the storehouse. Strike it with Raiton, and I shall observe. Very well. Now recall what I said during our first lesson. The techniques at your disposal are created not merely by which mudra you choose, but also the order in which you combine them. When earth joins with heaven, the skies will rain fire and ash. In other words, form the mudra Chi followed by 10, and channel those energies forward, and searing hell's fire will engulf your foes. But be forewarned, these techniques require considerable exertion on your spirit. After performing one, you will observe that some time is required before your mind settles and you are able to wield another. Now, demonstrate Kaiton for me on the Mokujin over there. Splendid. Your grasp on fundamental mudra combinations is firm, but knowing how the technique is only the beginning, you must also understand when to employ it. Chunin is our word for a shinobi who has attained full mastery of 2 mudra techniques. In our tradition, when a student is deemed by his master to show such potential, he is led to a waterfall outside the village to conduct intense training. I cannot take you to Doma, of course, but my maps tell me of a place in Upper Lenosha that should suffice. Fool Falls. The name is less than auspicious, but it will have to do. Meet me there, and we shall proceed. Until today, I knew this place only as letters on the map. Gazing upon it with my own eyes, it is even more beautiful and powerful than I could have imagined. Yes, this will serve us well. My people do not worship your deities. 12. Our gods are all around us, in the trees, in the soil, in the crashing waters before you. Close your eyes and open your heart to the sound of the rushing falls, that you might purge your mind of all worldly thoughts and distractions. The techniques you have learned will serve you well in battle, but confuse the order of your mudras and you can easily turn into defeat. It is imperative that you keep a single focus of mind. So it is that masters have brought their students to falls like this one for training since my ancestors' time. Who is the more foolish? The fool of Fool Falls, or the fool who comes here without realizing he's been followed? Karasu. Now here's a curious scene. The dim one is accompanied today by not his swallow, but by a chirping horsebird chick who fancies himself a shinobi. The dim one is displeased. This after our hero postponed 2 assassinations to make this little journey. Could his friends not greet him with a smile and some crumpets, or whatever it is Eorzeans take with their tea? The dim one ponders. How did our hero know where to find him? Yet the answer is plain as day. The dim one is a creature of habit and tradition. Where else would he bring his prize new pupil? Tradition! Our hero spits on tired tradition. No, for he is a shinobi of a different feather. Ever-changing, never predictable, but always, always in style. Those who cling too closely to tradition are bound to suffer the fate of their forebears. Or are the lessons of the past so soon forgotten? Ready yourself, monkey. It appears that your training today will be of a more practical sort. But of course, all you had to do was ask nicely. It would be my pleasure to be your teacher for the day. Your first lesson, little chick. Raiton's lightning will strike a single foe, while Katon's flame will raise many. Wield them wisely, or don't. It's only your life at stake. Ha ha! Oh, how generous is our hero, putting aside his killings and spyings to play mother hen to the horsebird chick. You will try to keep me entertained, won't you? Do Monkey here's a pimp. You fought well, Monkey. I, however, should have known to expect the traitor's attack. I was careless and put you in danger. It will not happen again. It appears that Karasu has taken an interest in you, and I fear this complicates matters some. Let us return to the docks. There is much I would tell you. I would tell you a story of our past, a story of the traitor and why he must die at our hands. Growing up in the same village, I have known Karasu since we were both children. When he came of age, we began our training together under Master Gekai. From a young age, it was clear that Karasu possessed an innate talent for our art that few could rival. I spared no effort in my training, yet struggled to grasp techniques that he would master effortlessly. In his own way, he possesses a mind singularly devoid of wasteful thoughts, a mind seamlessly unclouded by concepts such as right or wrong, good or evil. Despite this, deep down, I always thought of him as a brother. All that changed on that fateful day, when Castle Doma fell to the Garleans. Someone had betrayed our homeland, sold our secrets to the enemy. Looking upon my friends as their bodies lay broken and bleeding, I saw a figure flee into the hills. It was Karasu. Were I younger, more naive, I might have pursued Karasu as he fled, in an attempt to reason with him. But it was clear that this man, this demon, was no longer one of us. If indeed he ever had been. Even Master Gekai did not survive the slaughter. Did Karasu bear him some grudge, or was it merely a student's ugly pride? For our master's fate was the grisliest of all. His body mangled, his once proud face shattered beyond all recognition. I once held out hope that if I crossed blades with Karasu in battle, that I might understand something of what it was made him do those horrible deeds. Yet, each encounter only raises more questions. One thing is clear, however. Karasu could have killed us back at Fool Falls had he seen fit, yet he chose not to. It was as if he was testing us, testing you. Needless to say, this does not change our mission. For his crimes against Doma, Karasu must pay with his life, and yet his thorough knowledge of us and our art has put Tsubame and I at grave disadvantage. But you, Monkey, your thoughts, your movements are still unfamiliar to him. Yes, your presence might still serve to break his focus and afford us an opening. Yet to accomplish this, you must become stronger still. Promise me that you will not let up on your training. And with that, we are now up to date. We are ninjas, and we are up to date on our ninja quests. We have finished our rogue quest. We are no longer rogues. We are ninjas. We have our cool Naruto hand signals. And we are ending right there. We're going to pick up on the main story next time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And yeah, we'll see you in the next one.